No-show fusible mesh. No-show fusible mesh is a 1.5 shear cutaway stabilizer. It is also great because it will not shadow through your fabrics on light colored fabrics. It is wonderful for your knits and anything that you would like to have embroidered that would be soft. It's ideal for children's clothing or baby garments. You want to use this fusible, especially when you're trying to hoop your fabric in the hoop so that your fabric is not distorted. It has a fusible coating on one side, allowing you to fuse that to the back of the fabric to hold your fabric stable while doing the embroidery. Now this little butterfly had about 13,000 stitches, and you're going to notice there's two pieces of the fusible no-show mesh on the back, because each layer of your no-show mesh, fusible no-show mesh, is good for about 6,000 stitches on a well-digitized design. Now, because of the wonderful way that this has been made, you're going to see this wonderful little pattern in it. I can actually take and put two pieces of the no-show mesh and notice them that it's at a 45-degree angle. So I've simply fused on the first piece to the back of the knit and then taken the second piece and just slightly turned it at a 45 and fused it over the top. Then I've hooped it into my hoop. And the beauty of doing this is when I hoop this, now my fabric of my knit that is so stretchy and has so much give to it will not stretch out of shape or distort and end up with a beautiful embroidery design when I'm finished. So you want to be sure that you fuse it at least an inch out beyond your hoop so that it will totally be in the hooping process when you hoop your design and your fabric into the hoop. These samples have been washed many times. You can see the fusible no-show mesh on the back. When you're done, you can simply pull up and trim off the excess. If you're finding that it's sticking to your fabric, just apply a little bit of heat to release it. But you can see how beautiful these lay after they've been laundered. This little guy has been washed numerous times and in the dryer also, and see how nice and smooth he is. No-show mesh is made for unstable fabrics. Any kind of fabrics that has any give to it, any stretch, polar fleece, knits, sweatshirt material. On the back of this knit has been fused the no-show mesh. You can see how easy this can pull away. This has been fused on large enough so that it will fit inside the hoop, so there's no distorting. Be sure to remember to use a topping on your knits, and remember that topping will also alleviate any hoop burn that could possibly be caused from the hooping process. Simply take your knit material, and this happens to be quite a stretchy one. This is actually a piece of sweatshirt material. We're going to fuse our first layer to the back. You're going to refuse it to the wrong side. Be sure you fuse a piece large enough that will fit inside the hoop so that during the hooping process it will not distort your knit. Again, you want to be sure and use a pressing cloth or press from the fabric side down. You want to start with a low temperature on your iron, working up. Every iron has different settings and gets hotter than others. Start with a 200-degree temperature on your iron. Fuse this on. Turn it over to check to see how you did on your fusing. Looks pretty good. You can actually take and go over the fabric just to kind of make sure that it's all fused on. We've made sure that it's large enough to fit inside of our hoop. If our design was denser than 6,000 stitches, we could simply take another layer of our fusible no-show mesh and simply take the fusing, put it next to the back side of where we just fused, and fuse on another layer. And that will increase our thread count for our density of our design up to 2 to 3 times. So if your design is much denser than 6,000, be sure that you overlap those at a 45-degree angle. The beauty of this wonderful no-show mesh cutaway is the fact that it leaves it very soft and will give you that beautiful, beautiful stitch out of your embroidery designs. No-show fusible mesh.